Moving on. Another day, yet another temple scam that is grabbing all the headlines. The Kerala High Court has now directed the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Bureau to investigate embezzlement of up to 35 lakh rupees in the sale of ghee at Sabarimala temple within 2 months. This comes amidst alarm over sale proceeds of over 16,000 packets of Adiya Shishtam ghee, a sacred offering sold to devotees at 100 rupees a packet from the counter between November 11 to December 26 last year, not been remitted to the Devasam board account. This isn't the first time, remember, that there are alarming irregularities or even theft that is coming to light from the Sabarimala temple. It's been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons recently. This massive heist involving gold-plated panels from the temple Sanctum Sanctorum had come to fore over the last few months, and now this separate financial scam has been unearthed involving the sale of the sacred ghee itself, which is offered to the deity. In the 2019 gold scam, gold-clad plates were intentionally mislabeled as copper plates to bypass strict oversight. And in the alleged ghee scam, an audit has revealed that the proceeds from the sale that run to 35 lakh rupees have been siphoned off. In the gold theft case, former TDP heads, temple's chief priest, among several other high-ranking officials have been indicted for criminal conspiracy and misappropriation. And in this latest matter of the ghee scam, the Kerala High Court has called the scale alarming, ordering a vigilance probe. But this is not just the story of Sabarimala temple alone. You look at Guruvarur temple gold and ivory mismanagement case. Audit reports revealed that gold and silver vessels returned after rituals were consistently lighter than recorded earlier. And over 530 kilograms of ivory was reportedly missing from the temple's sanctuary. Tirupati temple allegations surfaced that 68 lakh kilograms of spurious ghee containing animal fats were supplied to the famous Tirupati Laddu making, and it was estimated to be causing a loss of 250 crore rupees. At the same temple, which is one of the largest in India, not just in South India, a 54 crore rupees scam was exposed by the agencies. A contractor supplied 100% polyester shawls for a decade, what was meant to be silk shawls. And now this gold theft and ghee scam that has come to light from Sabarimala as well. Now here's the rationale for government control over temples. This has been made for a very, very long time, and it has still been made because people believe that large temples in India have so much wealth that they should be controlled by the government, otherwise there will be too much corruption. So what does Article 25 of the Constitution say? It says that the state has the power to regulate economic, financial, political or other secular activities associated with religious practice. The Supreme Court had ruled that the state can regulate administration of religious or charitable institutions in a secular manner. State oversight via departments like Hindu religious and charitable endowments is intended to ensure transparency. That was the big aim. Government intervention ensures that temples remain open to all sections, enforcing social reforms and inclusion of marginalized communities. The state has used its authority to abolish hereditary rights over temple management and priesthood, aiming to democratize access and representation. But look at what's happening in these temples. Is there still an argument to be made that temple control is helping manage these temples in a better way than their local priests or families can? That's the big debate on the back of another scam coming to light from Sabarimala.
This is not just case of loot, it is systematic corruption. Both the UDF and the LDF are at the heart of this.
This is a systemic corruption that's being happening. People of Kerala will definitely give a befitting reply.
Let's go across to our guest joining us, Colonel S. Dini, spokesperson of Kerala BJP, with us, Advocate B.N. Haskar, political analyst, and Mithun Vijaykumar is also a political analyst who often bats for freeing our temples, especially in these southern states. So, Colonel Dini, I want to begin with you. How does the BJP look at what even the Congress is calling a systematic theft, systematic abuse of what's happening in our temple? And this is about, you know, not just temple control, temple management, some of the policies that these boards may have, but about loot of what is temple wealth. This is hereditary temple wealth. This is wealth that should not just remain within the Hindu community or the community that is the caretaker of those temples or the devotees, but it is being actually looted in blatant corruption.
I mean, it's quite ironical that the Congress itself is calling it a systematic corruption, when we all know that it is both the LDF and the UDF which has been ruling the state of Kerala for the past so many years and decades, and no other government has been formed there. And so, what has the Congress-led UDF done about it? Nothing. What has the communist-led LDF done about it? Nothing. So basically, what is happening in Kerala is, ma'am, it is not only it's a question of looting a temple or one temple at Sabarimala or Guruvayur. It's actually more than that. It is all these things. We can understand that it may be happening in other parts of the country as well. But in Kerala, why is it happening? It's more of a destruction of the faith, because for the reason is that there are ideologies which has to be got into the Kerala society, which is over a period of time it comes with the theory that there is no God. So the same Sabarimala temple was burnt many decades back. So, and what happened to that report? It never saw the day of light. Why? The reason is because that there were again interests there, the political interests there. So what I'm trying to say is, ma'am, that irrespective of whether it is the LDF or the UDF, this loot, this systematic institutionalized corruption which is happening in various temples in Kerala will happen because there are political interests there from both the CPM and the Congress, because
so
both have to.
It is
Yes,
not just eroding temple wealth, it is the erosion of the faith itself. Mr. Bhaskar, do you want to respond to this, Mr. Haskar? Because, this is now happening repeatedly in big, large Kerala temples. All of them come under state government control. All appointees are left appointees. In Sabarimala, just the shocking gold theft that has come to light before this Ghee scam. I mean, can't even understand how a government can defend something like that happening under their noses. So why should we not see this as some sort of a left conspiracy to both erode temple wealth but also faith, because they clearly stand against it?
After the sensational gold scam, this is also unearthed by the Sabarimala Special Officer, who has given a report to the High Court regarding the Ghee scam. Another person whose name is Sunil Poti is behind the entire scam. I do admit that there is a there is a dereliction of duty from the part of the officials of Travancore Devasam Board or the officials of the Sabarimala temple. I do admit there is a mistake happened or dereliction of duty happened due to this. But it is also, again, it's a pointing point. Another point which we can raise is that it is due to the interference of Sabarimala Special Officer. This thing is noted to the Honorable High Court of Kerala, and the Honorable High Court of Kerala interfere in the matter. We can consider this is also a small scam, but which cannot be treated as lightly, because already the State Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Bureau is going to take action against these culprits, and immediately they will be put behind bars, like the persons who are accused in the gold scam. They are all behind the bars, and not even they are not. The court is not willing to grant bail to any one of the accused who is already completed his 90 days of incarcerations. That is also a highlighted point in this case, and the SIT is going to give final report within time span.
You are giving credit to the state government, but what is also true is, for example, in the gold theft case, the government is accused of trying to bury it or was trying to shirk or minimize what was going on at Sabarimala temple when it comes to that gold theft case and the sensational discoveries or allegations that were coming out. There seemed to be a sense that the left government was trying to just bury it under the carpet. I'm also joined by Sabyasachi Chatterjee, leader of the CPIM, joining us. Mr. Chatterjee, why should this not be seen as utter failure of the CPIM government in Kerala?
Look,
that in
I
temple after temple, there is loot and only loot and corruption coming out.
I'll be telling you, when this CPIM is running a government in a state within this structure where the corruption is a part. Now the question is outlook of the government regarding the corruption. Whether the government wanted to shield anybody, whether the government wanted to protect anybody, whether government wanted to give any shelter to anybody, any special treatment. Even the Chief Minister's statement in December 9, probably, the Chief Minister said the government is not coming to save anybody. So that is the approach of the left government. Left government is not going to hide anybody whoever it may be associated with any.
Can I ask you something? The state, you can say this, that we are going to have an impartial probe and not let anybody escape the law if you didn't have a direct role on it. Here, the state runs the temple. You are equally culpable.
Look, I will be telling you, the position of law is a little bit different. It is not the state runs the temple. It is the administrations of the temple which is under the control of the state. If you are well aware about this kind of legislations, which says the management of the temple will be run by
and the management is corrupt.
Managed by the state.
And the management itself is turning out to be corrupt. The corruption is of the management only.
That CPIM has already declared that there is no corruption. Corruption will be an inevitable part of the government system. If there is a corruption,
that can't be a great explanation for it. How would you ever raise any fingers on anybody else if you make an explanation that corruption is always part of a government system?
That's why the law is required. Law is there to take care of these situations, and government is there to enforce the law. So nobody is talking
all
about
of these years it was happening under Pinarayi Vijayan's nose, and the government had no clue. They had no way to stop this.
That's why when anything is surfaced up, when there is a direction of the court, when there is a direction and their vigilance is now in investigating the thing by the direction of the court, and honorable court is there to monitor the whole situation, then why we are being afraid? Why we are thinking that government is there to save this, protect this?
So, in anything that the government manages...
There are the allegations against them. They are trying to...
No, you are pinning this on individuals. But government cannot escape its responsibility because, as you said, the government itself is in charge of administration of these temples. Maybe not the religious activities, but certainly of the administration and of the money, of the gold, of the wealth. If it isn't arguments, if it isn't allegations like temple wealth is looted by state government, it is taken over, temple land is taken over, temple wealth is taken over, it is used for quote-unquote secular activities when India doesn't allow that for any other religious institutions. Now you're justifying corruption by saying corruption is bound to happen wherever government works.
Nobody is justifying corruption. I am just reminding the role of a state government when there is an allegation of corruption. When there is an allegation of corruption,
is in the dock here.
Allegation, even against the highest persons sitting in the administration of the state. It is about the approach of the government. Whether the government
Mithun
has taken the correct approach.
Do you buy this argument that the state has acted as and when these scams have come out, so therefore it is unfair to question the state control of these temples in the first place?
See, I think they're missing out a big point here. The Travancore Devasam Board is not an independent group of devotees or something. It is a body created by the law and effectively controlled by the state government. But I think the CPIM panelist has pretty much agreed that, corruption is inevitable under CPIM government. But Mr. Haskar was trying to blame the Sabarimala Special Officer to protect the political appointees on the Travancore Devasam Board. But this is the Kerala High Court that has called that there is a deep-rooted systemic failure.
Exactly.
This means the problem isn't just one officer, it's a broken system that allowed 35 lakh rupees to be stolen in just 2 months. The board is in charge of the temple's daily operations, so they can't just blame anyone. the board is in charge of the staff, the board is in charge of the money. If 16,000 packets of ghee go missing and no receipts are given to devotees, it shows that the board failed to do its job. So blaming an officer does not change the fact that the board let this theft happen under its watch. And the bigger thing
and
is,
the bigger question that's coming to
devotees.
light, once again, Sabyasachi Chatterjee said something very interesting. Wherever there is government control, there is bound to be corruption. So please make me understand that what rationale is left to control temples. Why are Hindu temples controlled by the state, not just in Kerala, but the entire state and state governments in India, when they also can't stop corruption? In fact, corruption, one could argue, happens more because of government bureaucracy and babudam.
Ma'am, this can be an argument. You can always argue,
Is there a
but
question
at the
to me?
end of the day,
I think
this
that's
is
a
the
question.
law.
One second, let Mr.
How it
Vijay
is
respond.
from the
Let
very
Mr.
beginning.
Mithun Vijay respond. 1 second. If corruption has to happen, because as a citizen, people are told, oh, these are such large temples, they have so much wealth, they cannot be given to individual families or priests to run. Larger Hindu communities at stake. But when the state runs them, even then they are riddled with corruption. So what argument is left, Mithun?
Definitely. I mean, states like this, especially, I can, what we are seeing here is what Sabyasachi might be seeing is, or maybe what he's talking is about the Kerala government in particular, where you see scams after scams happening in this state, right? Gold scam, dollar scam, PP kit scam, Sabarimala gold scam, and every scam leads to the chief minister's office ultimately. So maybe that's why Sabyasachi is pretty much convinced that this happens in Kerala, and especially under this particular government. But other governments, I just can't blame every government, because there are temples that are very well managed compared to Sabarimala. So the problem is when they're cheating the devotees here. When devotees go to Sabarimala, they say kallum mullum kalik mette, which means stones and thorns are mattress for the feet. So that's the level of devotion a person visiting Sabarimala would be having. But when Kerala government looks at Sabarimala, they see business, and for years they have we have seen a systemic attack on Sabarimala. And the government that takes the donations made by the devotees also has a duty to protect, is what I feel.
And
There
what
are
we
states
see
that
instead, Colonel Dinny, is that when the Sabarimala pilgrimage takes place, now year after year, particularly for the last few years, we are seeing devastating scenes of the conditions in which those devotees are having to make those pilgrimages. So where is that wealth going? The central question is, temple wealth is for devotees, temple wealth is for Hindu welfare. But in India, it has become a state's business what to do with that wealth, and actually not use it for the purposes that it's meant for. So once again,
Absolutely, ma'am.
Mr. Dinny.
There's just no, absolutely, ma'am. There's just no doubt. And I have been to Sabarimala as recent as on January 1st this year, and this was my 15th visit to Sabarimala. So, and when you go there, ma'am, what Mithun was saying, you will understand what it really means. Absolutely pathetic arrangements for the devotees. Devotees are supposed to be, like there's a faith that you have to go through the hardships. So even if you don't do anything for the pilgrims, they are okay is the mindset of the government. So one has gone to so many temples all over India, and one finds that basic amenities are also not available in Sabarimala. With so much of protest and happening now, there is an attempt being made by putting Mr. Jayakumar and all as the head of the operations there. So what I'm trying to say is that every year lakhs and lakhs of people visit Sabarimala. But the kind of facilities which are available there is pathetic, and there cannot be any debate on that. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, Mr. Sabyasachi mentioned that the government has got no control over it. It is the Devasam board. So the Devasam minister, there is a minister, there is a Devasam minister in the cabinet of Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. The person who has been arrested so far, there are almost a dozen people who have been arrested, which includes there was some president, Mr. Padma Umar. He is a CPM political leader. All these presidents, vice presidents, these board members, they are all political nominees. They are all political nominees. Now, of these people who have been arrested so far, all of them have, a CPM. They are all political CPM leaders.
Let him respond. Now, I've got a minute left. Mr. Chatterjee, please respond. This is the stamp of the CPM on all the appointees.
It is this specifically Kerala government. I said it is the state and the state structure. In this structured state structure, the corruption is inevitable.
So then you should leave control of it. No, you should start a movement saying we don't want to control temples.
Now, I have to tell you one thing, that one of the exceptional situations doesn't talk about the whole scenario. If there is a complaint, there is a High Court monitored investigation, let us wait for the outcome of the investigation. If there is anybody whose name, even the name of Mr. Padmanabhan or someone who happens to be the CPIM cadre who has been pointed out, even he has not been saved. Chief Minister himself said nobody is going to be saved. So
Okay.
let us wait for the outcome of the investigation.
Ma'am, the High Court has
Preliminary
mentioned why
inquiry
the
has
big
come.
fish has still
Earlier
not
it
been
was
caught.
gold, now it is
This
ghee.
is the verdict of the High Court
Something
that
may come up. Let us deal with the whole thing.
observations of the
Okay.
High Court and
Will
why
the big fish
is not
also be
having-
caught in the net? Because it cannot happen without an understanding throughout the bureaucracy. We'll leave it at that. I thank our guests for joining us. The Right Stand is coming up next.